Hey, good old nut. Tastes like death inside of a nut. It sucks that we still don't have food. I'm so hungry.
I just feel really disappointed because you're the expert. And if you can't do it, then how are we going to be able to?
This is a patience game. There's no immediate gratification in the woods. That's the difference between here and at home. Here, you gotta work for your food.
Nothing.
So buck up, guys.
For thousands of years, man lived wild, and our triumph over Mother Nature defined who we were. We were rugged, we were strong. And as we evolved, our ingenuity led to towering achievements. We secured our place at the top of the food chain, and now we have the waistline to prove it. I'm Creek Stewart. I'm a survivalist, and this is your midlife wake-up call. So get off the couch and come out to the woods. If you can survive a week with me, you can take on anything. Survival is simple. Just don't die.
This week is going to be real interesting. We've got a father and two sons who are looking to make big changes. This week is the first time Chad has ever met his brother and father.
It's going to be fun, Chad. You know, after 25 years of not knowing you, it'll be a lot of fun us getting together and doing this.
Sitting in the back seat with your dad and your brother for the first time is surreal.
Chad is the older son. He's a 26-year-old waiter from Tennessee.
Being adopted when you're 3, not really knowing what the phrase "you have another father" means. When I was 14, I started wondering, where did I come from? I'm not the type of person to just go out in the woods. I had a year in Boy Scouts, and after that, I retired.
All I know is we're going to meet a guy named Creek to help us survive. He knows what he's doing, so we'll just follow his lead since we don't know what we're doing.
Howard is the father. He's a 47-year-old truck driver from Tennessee.
When I was growing up, my dad was a truck driver, and we never got to do anything together. He passed away last year, so now is the time to do it because we're not guaranteed tomorrow.
Caleb, Creek, buddy, nice to meet you.
Too, Bo.
Caleb is the youngest son. He's 21 years old and owns a landscaping company in Kentucky.
The reason why I wanted to come out here, Dad, I catch him on the road, meet him at a truck stop, and that's it. Getting Chad here also is wonderful.
That leaves Chad. Well, fellas, welcome to the edge of the wilderness. I understand this is your first time together. I'm no relationship expert, but I do understand survival. Your ability to work together as a team will determine whether or not each of you make it until the end of the week. Before we go into the woods, I've got each of you a backpack. Inside are some critical survival tools. We got a stainless steel mug, your knife, and then we've got a machete. We're going to be traveling through some pretty crazy terrain, and we're going to need a tool that's capable of getting us through it. That's all you get this week.
This should be interesting.
The only things we need to be thinking about today are regulating core body temperature, and we do that through shelter and fire. Let's head into the woods and find a good base camp location.
Sound good.
You know, we've got so much to think about already. Shelter, water, fire, and food. And then to some point this week, they are going to be on their own to build their own shelter, their own fire, and spend one night alone in the woods.
Where are we going to? I have no idea.
Not only are these guys thinking about how in the world I'm going to help them meet their own basic human survival needs.
It's getting hairy in here, fellas.
But I got to keep in mind that this is the first time these guys have ever met each other. I can't even imagine what's going through their minds.
Are we there yet?
They're going to have to warm up to each other pretty quick because we got to start working together as a team right now. Hey guys, check this out. See this little dead tulip poplar?
Yeah.
See how this bark is peeling off? This stuff right here is perfect for lashing together shelters or making snares. Let's fill our packs full, and then let's keep moving. I'll tell you what, man, I'm liking in the middle of this mountain laurel thicket.
The spot right here?
Yeah, we've got a really decent clearing. We're protected here. I say we claim this as base camp.
Sounds good.
Maybe we'll do like a half wigwam. A wigwam is a traditional dome-style shelter. It's a framework of bent saplings that is then thatched, in this case, with mountain laurel. What we need are a bunch of saplings about as big as around as your thumb and 8 to 10 feet long. Each of you come back with 3 or 4 of those, and then we'll start putting it together.
Here's a pretty good.
Having to climb through these trees and all this brush is less than magical. We had to get what's called saplings. I have no clue about this mountain man terminology.
I know they're thinking, Dad, what have you got me into? But I'm having fun. I feel like Paul Bunyan. Timber! Hey, Creek.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, this is going to be our entrance. We're going to weave these 2 guys together, and we're going to wrap them around each other. This is where we're probably going to use some of that cordage. Perfect. Now you can tie it off.
That's going to be bigger than my house.
Well, once you jam 4 guys into it, it's not going to feel very big. But we'll appreciate the body heat come 2 a.m., I promise you that.
That's right.
These guys are just now meeting for the first time.
I see what you're saying.
Bring it to me, son.
Right there?
Yeah, just like it.
But finally, in the middle of this shelter build, I start seeing them interact. This is a really good sign. For never spending much time together, you sure do work well as a team.
So far.
I mean, seriously.
So far. Exactly.
We're ready to start shingling this wigwam. Take branches of mountain laurel. We're gonna make it so they got a little hook on them. And we shingle from the bottom up, just like you shingle a house, so that rain and snow run off of these shingles.
Hey, Creek, look behind the mansion. We have a wonderful bee's nest.
That's not your average bee's nest. That's a big old hornet's nest. Are you allergic to bee stings?
Absolutely.
Well, I'm allergic to them, too, so.
Are you really?
Yeah.
It's good to know. We're definitely good enough to make the night with this shelter, but we have to have fire. In conditions like this, fire is critical. The catch is the cold temperatures mixed with everything being damp and moist makes fire starting really, really difficult. The good news is I brought a lighter.
You busted it, man.
Are you kidding me?
No.
You know, they're immediately thinking, oh no, but I brought a busted lighter for a reason.
It's getting cold, colder by the minute. We're losing daylight, and all we have now is basically the spark from the lighter.
Just because it's broken doesn't mean we can't make fire with it. We just got to be a little bit more creative. We're not going to find a dry piece of tinder on this ground. But inside of that hornet's nest is protected. Chad and Howard are allergic to bee stings. Where I see dry fire tinder, these guys see fear. It might be empty, but it might also explode with live hornets, and we're gonna need that nest. Can you go get it? Just because it's broken doesn't mean we can't make fire with it. We're not gonna find a dry piece of tinder on this ground. But inside of that hornet's nest is protected. Chad and Howard are allergic to bee stings. Where I see dry fire tinder, these guys see fear. We're gonna need that nest. Can you go get it?
You're dang right.
Caleb, we need you to come through with that, man.
Hornet's nest was up in a tree. I do own my own landscaping business. So I figured, well, I'm good at cutting trees. If it's in a tree, I can get it down. Well, the only way I'm gonna get that, bring that tree down. And see if the tree's dead. Shake it. This is broke. Oh, Creek, you talking about that one?
Yeah. Is there anything in it?
No.
Okay, jeez, oh,
It's way too cold.
It's good stuff right here, guys. This is like paper. We're gonna just process this, and by process, I mean expose all of those little fibers in there. See if you can get a spark to catch on it. Man, it's just nothing, isn't it?
Nope.
This is incredibly difficult. And when I see that that hornet's nest is not lighting with that spark, I'm a little bit concerned. Everything's damp, even the inside of that hornet's nest.
Anybody got any suggestions, you know, they need to speak up. I mean, a broken lighter and wood and a hornet's nest. What are we gonna do?
I tell you what, guys. We need finer fibers.
What would that be?
See how I'm scraping that cotton lint off of my jeans?
Hey, I got an idea. Look at all
that's
that.
what I'm talking about, man.
I remember that I had on cotton sweatpants. You know, cotton burns pretty good.
This is definitely our best shot with that little spark. We're gonna let Chad give it a shot.
You can smell it.
Yeah, I can smell it kind of burning.
My biggest concern out here now is if we don't get this fire going, we're all gonna freeze.
Good job.
Somewhere, some energy gave it to me to be the one to light the fire.
Give me some little stuff on there, guys. We do not have this yet.
Every time the fire would go down, I just couldn't breathe.
Come on, man. We need more. We're gonna lose it if we don't blow it.
My emotions was like, it went up, it went down. It drove me insane.
Now we're getting somewhere. I think we got fire in the middle of a cold, damp woods with a broken lighter. Pretty freaking cool.
That was a good job, Chad.
Hopefully we can keep it going.
Being the father, and this is the first time me and the boys have ever been together, you know, I am exceptionally proud that we all worked together to get this fire going.
Tomorrow is water and food. And the best thing we can do tonight is get some rest.
Sounds good. I feel like doing this survival week is the best way to connect with my sons, to spend time with them, and basically, you know, just get to know each other.
This is actually pretty comfortable.
Oh, it is.
I mean, it's surprising.
Oh, my God.
Man, it feels good to be moving.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday was a really long day. We spent a lot of calories and did a lot of work building that shelter. We need to find water this morning, and the best place is going to be downhill to find water. We only started this week with 1 liter of water, and most of our canteens are running on empty. So our first priority this morning is finding water. Oh, yeah, guys. Decent little mountain stream, man. Kind of a runoff.
Cool. We're just about out of water.
I'm out of water. We can only last for a few days without water. So when we bust out of that mountain laurel thicket and I see that mountain runoff stream, man, I can't tell you the sense of relief I had. It's running over here. This is what we're looking for right here. This is being filtered by the earth, man.
Coming up on the spring was like a dream. I immediately wanted to start drinking it.
It's still not good to drink. We're still gonna have to boil it, but it'll be good. This is the good stuff right here, man. You can't ask for any better water than this. Sun's out. We got some fresh water. I'm happy.
Now we gotta have food.
Yeah, I could use a little bit of breakfast. All right, guys, let's keep moving. The more ground we cover, the more likely we are to see potential food sources.
I'm all for finding something to eat, whether it's a possum, a wild boar, or even a squirrel.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What's your step? What's your step?
What?
Look at this.
What are them, cherries?
Persimmons. You know, there's only one type of fruit that I know of that's ripe this time of year, and that's persimmons. This is such a huge score. Have you tried them?
Just in pie.
Try one right now, man. These are delicious.
Just like persimmon pie.
This is good stuff right here, fellas.
They're delicious.
They're gross. The texture is very mushy. I'm a texture guy, so it didn't go well with me.
You can't think about the taste, guys. Chad is making such an awful face with these persimmons. You'd think he's like 5 years old eating green beans or something. Right now, you need that little bit of sugar. Food in the wild is not about taste. It is just about function.
Hey, Caleb, won't you hand me one more of them? I got to get my sugar up.
You have low blood sugar?
Yeah, I've got diabetes.
My dad having diabetes, it hasn't really dawned on me until today that it's more important that we actually get something to eat. He's probably not going to tell us when he's feeling bad, and that's the last thing that I would want is a diabetic shock to come.
These are packed full of sugar. It's almost medicinal for you, man. These we want to take, for sure. All of them, every one we can find. We can set some snares using a few leftover persimmons, and we got really good chances of attracting small game. I'll tell you what, let's head out of here and go set these snares.
Awesome.
All right.
This is one hell of a climb.
Yeah, man, we're going almost straight up. It's just like a 60-degree angle. Whoa. Hey. Oh, my gosh.
This is one hell of a climb.
Yeah, man, we're going almost straight up. It's just like a 60-degree angle. Whoa, whoa. Hey. Oh, my gosh. Wow. Seriously, death trap. On the way to set snares, Mother Nature sends another reminder about how dangerous this place really is. You gotta really watch where you're walking in these mountains, man. This whole place is filled with stuff like this, just things that could kill you. We come about 2 steps from falling into the deepest sinkhole I've ever seen in the woods in my life. Even some of these spots are covered by like sticks and leaves. 1 step, man, and you're dead.
At least we're following you.
Here, listen, I got a rock. Let's see how far it goes.
It's still going.
I mean, no joke, man. 200-foot grave. Let's keep moving, man. Let's skirt plenty of way around this thing. This looks like a good area. It's far enough from camp. It's got a lot of saplings. Our best chances of catching wild game are with a snare. We'll set our first snare using this sapling right here. Watch this. That's going to be plenty strong to pull up a variety of small game animals. Making a small animal snare is not easy for the uninitiated. First, you drive 2 notch stakes into the ground. They support the bait stick that is being held by tension from the bent sapling. A noose is tied to the bait stick in position so that an animal must pass its head through the noose in order to eat the bait. When the bait is disturbed and pulled, the bait stick dislodges from the stakes, allowing the sapling to fly up and cinch the noose around the animal. You should never set a snare you can't check on a regular basis. We're going to drive these in right next to each other. So here we go. Yep. Let's get our bait tied on. Get a nice juicy persimmon. And then we'll take some of that tulip poplar cordage. We're really going to wrap this around there, man. I mean, we want to make it difficult to get off of there so that if they want this persimmon underneath this tulip poplar cordage, they're going to have to yank on it.
We're going to work for it.
Exactly.
That berry looks kind of good, I ain't going to lie.
Hopefully, these persimmons lead to something bigger.
I want something to eat, man. I'm dying. I'm hungry. And I know everybody else is too, because we didn't eat yesterday.
That's where my noose is going to go to. Now look at that, guys. That's about what we want. The last step is to build this fence so that when this animal comes to this, it has no choice but to stick its head right in that little hole. We're going to give him a little taste right here at the doorway and then right at the edge of the kitchen. He's not going to be able to resist that after a few nibbles. This right here, guys, is a really effective small game snare. But one of them isn't enough. We need a handful of them. You know, why don't we use the rest of these persimmons, make a few more of these snares, and let's see if Lady Luck is in our favor tonight.
Let's do it.
So Creek tells us that we have to make our own snares. The only thing I want is food. So at this point, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to eat.
This look like a good one?
Yeah.
After spending 2 days with my dad and brother, we still will have a lot to work on as far as the relationship goes. Y'all really think this is going to work?
I hope so. I'm hungry.
But the thing that we do have in common at this point is we're starving.
All right.
I think me, Dad, and Chad, we're all just nervous for the first time meeting each other and being around each other. We don't know how each other's going to react.
Hope we catch a deer. I'll show y'all how my wrestling days were. I'll body slam it.
Yeah, that's what I figured you was going to say.
So when were you a wrestler?
About 7 years ago, son. Chad didn't really know that I wrestled. That was one of my coolest moments of my life.
And this was professional?
This was professional on an independent circuit. It's nothing like what you see on TV, even though we were on TV in local towns.
So did you have like a special move, any special names?
Well, my name was Cletus Bass.
Cletus Bass?
Yeah, Cletus Bass of all names.
As a kid growing up, I loved wrestling. In fact, I cried when I found out that it wasn't real. So had I known that whenever he was wrestling, it probably would have made my world. It actually brought us a little bit closer. One more thing in common that I didn't know about. You'll think Creek would be proud?
But we'll find out when we come back and we got something swinging from it. So how'd y'all sleep last night?
Horrible. Waking up, I was extremely starved. We haven't eaten yet, besides those berries that I did not care for. The starvation is really killing me.
Hey, here comes Creek.
Who it is?
Hey, guys.
Hey, Creek, that's not food.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe we could use some of this stuff to make some weapons before we go check our traps.
It's always a good idea to approach any snares you've set with some kind of a weapon, just in case the animal in the snare isn't dead.
What do you think we should make?
Whatever strikes your fancy. I thought this would make a cool club.
I love to hit things.
Yeah. I got a little something in mind for myself.
With that little stick, got something planned for it?
Yeah, I'm gonna make like a tomahawk.
There's something to making weapons that just puts guys in a better mood.
I can't handle the suspense any longer. I'd like to go check those snares and see if anything triggered them last night or early this morning.
Let's do it.
Caleb and I decided to camo up and smudge our faces. Plus, I had the team move through the woods as quietly as possible. But they were about to learn a survival lesson the hard way.
Nothing.
The bait's still there, so there's nothing to do.
Looks good as new. So as we walk up to the first snare, nothing had happened. It was kind of a sigh of disappointment.
Strike one. Let's check this next one. This one's sprung, but nothing here.
We walk to the second snare and find that there's not only any bait on there, but whatever animal that had tripped the snare took the bait and got away.
It was very disappointing when we come up on each one of the traps and they were empty.
I'm hungry, I'm disappointed. I just want Creek to take us somewhere where we can actually get some food.
I just feel really disappointed because you're the expert, and if you can't do it, then how are we going to be able to?
This is a patience game. You know, there's no immediate gratification in the woods. That's the difference between here and at home. Here, you gotta work for your food. So buck up, guys. Our best strategy is to get out of this area, let those snares keep working, come back in the morning and check them again. You know, on our way back through this area, just continue to look around. All right, let's go.
It's killing me.
As we're headed back to camp from checking our snares, the guys are literally turning over every log and looking in every stump, searching for anything edible. And at this point, I realize these guys are starting to tap in to the true spirit of hunter and gatherers.
Nothing.
Hey, good old nut. It tastes like death inside of a nut. That was nasty.
It sucks that we still don't have any food. I'm so hungry.
We need to be making it back to base camp before it gets too dark.
Well, we haven't found any food yet.
Yeah, well, it's another night on empty bellies.
It's killing me. Tater.
Today is not going to be a good day for me.
Is that cold?
It's freezing.
Well, it's the morning of day number 4, and we still have only had persimmons to eat. So I decide this morning to send the guys off while I go forage for wild edibles on my own. Good luck. And since this week is the very first time Chad has ever met his biological father or his brother, it gives the guys a good opportunity to spend some quality time alone without me, which they haven't had much of this week.
I'm gonna headbutt Dad in the back. Raise your head
I
up.
might have went the wrong way, but we'll make
I'm
it.
afraid to raise my head up, Dad. Don't follow so close.
One of my favorite trees in the woods is the pine tree. Pine resin or pine sap is extremely flammable, and I'm going to show you how to find what's called fat wood or pitch wood. In fact, if you go to your big box hardware stores, you can buy this stuff on the shelf in the fireplace department. Pine resin collects at the base or trunk of the tree. I'm just going to pull some of these splinters out right here, and they are completely soaked and encrusted with pine resin. Just with these few little pieces, I can light this on fire with just a spark, and this stuff will burn for probably a half an hour. And having the knowledge of where to find pitch wood in the wild in a pine tree can absolutely save your life and is a crucial survival skill.
This trap was set off again. So we walk up on the first trap, and it had been snagged. Nothing was there.
Bait's gone on this one. Let's reset it.
0 for 1.
Yeah, but something set it off.
Yeah.
Was this one set off?
Yep.
The other one was too.
Something ate some of it. Second one, same thing. Third one, same thing. I'm trying to stay positive, but I'm starving. There we go. Well, at least we know something is
Triggering them. You know, like Creek said, it's just a waiting game. So do y'all want to spray
look under
that
stuff
like we
did
did
yesterday. Yeah. So after resetting all 3 of the snares, we decided to just look around. There might be some animals or berries or nuts.
If only I can find some worms at least.
All of a sudden, I see movement. And at first I didn't know what it was, and then it turns around, and it was a big, fat possum. The only thing running through my head was food. Dad, come here. Quickly but quietly.
While we were out looking for the food, all of a sudden Chad comes at me, you know, he wasn't talking real loud, and I'm like, what's going on?
We don't have much time, but there's a possum up in this tree. You see him right there? Watch him. I'm gonna go find Caleb.
Well, I'm sitting there digging in a hole, just trying to find something to eat. I look up, there's Chad just waving his arms. Like, what is he doing? No, it's not what you do in the woods, man. So I go up there to see what he wanted.
You see it?
Possum in a tree. Possum's a delicacy where I'm from.
So we need to get around the tree, and then we're just gonna have to take him down quick. All right, y'all ready? Watch your heads, because I'm filming this. So our plan is to circle the possum, and we tried to throw a few things at it to get it loose out of the tree. We could not get the possum loose.
Shake the tree again, Chad.
I know, I'm sorry.
There you go.
He's dead.
Feel kind of bad for it.
Being so hungry, you don't really think twice until
After 3 days of not eating.
it's just laying there. We've been yearning for food for 4 days, and finally it's here. But on the other hand, it hurt my heart to just see the last breath.
Hey guys, you all right?
Yeah,
They are.
Yeah.
What's going on? I head back through camp and into the snare area where I sent the guys. What you guys got?
Some people might call it a delicacy.
And come to find out, these 3 guys have found and killed a possum. Was it in a snare?
No, it was up there.
How'd you get it out of the tree?
Shaking the tree, we
Threw stuff at it.
cut down
down
that
his
stick.
and poked him.
Oh my gosh, man. And then what'd you do?
Hit him in the head.
This is a huge score for the team, including myself. That is definitely food. We need to get it skinned and gutted right away. I don't like to let animals sit. Here, stick that through there. All right, who wants to do this?
Caleb.
We'll walk through it together.
All right.
Oh.
It's not necessarily in my dreams to kill something. Blood kind of makes my stomach turn.
Chad, why don't you come over here and help us with this side right here, man. Come on, man.
Creek volunteers me to help skin the possum, and at first I was not for it.
Just grab a hold of the fur part and just peel down. There you go. Good.
But, you know, I just bucked up, and as we got the fur and the head off, it looked like something I would enjoy.
This possum kill today changes everything. We have literally completed all of our survival priorities. We've got shelter, water, fire, and now a real food source. I think this is done. Who's gonna try it first?
I will.
Yeah.
Oh, God, man.
Is that good?
Oh, God.
Oh, man, dude. That sure beats persimmons. Caleb, come on, man.
I felt great sharing a meal with my sons here, Chad. Especially, you know, all 3 of us had a hand in getting the meal ourselves.
What do you think, man?
Delicious. Possum. Heaven in my mouth. The texture of it is beefy, but the taste of it, chicken.
How is it, Chad? He won't take it out of his mouth now.
It's good if you don't hear anything.
You like that skin, don't you?
Uh-huh.
Like pork skins, ain't it?
Mm. Well, this is the perfect wrap-up to day number 4. Tomorrow, you guys go out solo.
Solo.
You head off on your own. And at least you'll be able to do it with a full belly.
You're dang right.
You have to build your own shelter and make your own fire. But you won't have to worry about food. Tomorrow morning, ready or not, I'm sending them off on their own to build their own shelter, their own fire, and spend one night alone in the woods.
I think my shelter will look better than theirs will.
Actions speak louder than words.
Oh!
Me, Caleb, and my dad, we've been working really well as a team for the past 4 days, so it's going to be really interesting to see how tomorrow goes. It'll give me time to reflect on my week and think about the future.
Well, guys, today's the day. Solo time. You got to go out and build your own shelter and build your own fire.
All alone.
All alone. When it comes to fire, guys, I'm going to divvy this up 3 ways. Remember how we use this as fire tinder? Chad, you already have 1 broken lighter, right?
Yes.
Howard, here's your busted lighter. Caleb?
Never thought I'd say thank you for a broken lighter in the woods, man.
The sooner you guys get started today, the better. So, Howard, I'm going to send you in that direction. Chad, I'll send you in that direction. Caleb, I'm going to send you straight back there, man. Good luck, fellas.
Later, Creek.
All right, brother, good luck. It was clear early on that these guys had a healthy sense of competition between them. These guys are going to go at each other a little bit in terms of who does best on their solo day. It could be anybody's game.
This looks like a good place. I got everything I need right here. It's on now. These boys think they can outdo me.
If I had to guess, I would say Caleb's will probably end up being the best. He's out in the wilderness a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Just making me a bandana here. Keep sweat out of my eyes. Feel like Rambo. Guess we need to get that fire going before it gets too dark.
Moment of truth. Oh, we got a flame. Old Daddy gonna stay warm tonight.
feel pretty good that I got this fire going. Pretty emotional because I didn't get to do nothing like this with my dad. Kind of enjoyed doing it with the boys. Never thought a day would come.
Hey, Howard.
Hey, Creek.
I see smoke.
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Boy, that's going to be a cozy one-man shelter in there. I can tell this guy is genuinely happy, and I know that that is coming from him spending time with his two boys. I haven't checked on them yet, man. You want me to give them a message at all? Or?
Yeah, just tell them I love them.
All right, buddy. Good job.
Thank you, bud.
And the smile on Howard's face makes this entire week worth it. Just came from your dad's camp.
How was that?
He did have a fire and he did have a shelter. I asked him if he wanted to give you or Caleb a message, and he said to tell you both he loved you.
Well, that's actually the first time I've ever heard that from him.
I could tell he meant it. He looks happy. For the first time that he ever heard his dad say, I love you, to be this week in this woods, that right there is the power of the wilderness. Well, man, I'm going to go check on Caleb. You may give him any kind of a message?
I'm winning.
Okay.
You can't go out right now. Nope. You went out.
What's up, brother? As I move into Caleb's solo camp, I immediately can tell that there is no smoke and no fire. Boy, you got an interesting looking camp. Is recliner style or what?
Yeah, man.
This is definitely one of the most unique shelters I have ever seen. Caleb's shelter is definitely fire dependent. We have to get a fire going or he is going to have a miserable night. All right, here's what we're gonna do. You hold this. When you get it going, I'm gonna come in with this and hopefully we make some magic together.
Just keep there. Go.
Hey, brother. You got fire?
I got fire.
Good job, man. If you put that out, you're in a lot of trouble.
All right.
Have a good one, man.
See you in the morning.
All right.
Top of the morning to you.
I'm just ready to go to sleep. And as soon as I wake up, it's the last day.
The past few days have been very long, but I had the boys there. They kept my spirits up.
My dad, he wants to get to know us. It's amazing.
Messed up like a rock. On top of a rock. We actually survived this week. It makes you realize that if you take everything in the world away, TV, your chair, your truck, it really does make you appreciate what you have and what you're going to have.
It's going to be a good day, Tater.
My night was kind of uneventful. I just came up and basically went to sleep. I was up probably around 5 a.m. Like as soon as I saw daylight, I was so anxious to go home and see all my friends and family. I just could not go back to sleep.
Sleeping alone last night, working alone yesterday. Give me time to think. I'm hoping this outing with the boys bring something maybe we can do every year.
Hey, Caleb, morning, man.
Good morning, good
First back
morning.
to camp. How you feeling?
Hurting.
How was the wilderness recliner?
Wrong idea.
Uh-oh. Look who's
Chad.
coming.
The champ.
Talking crap already.
It's in our blood.
Oh,
Good morning, gentlemen.
How was your night?
My night was wonderful.
I'm glad to see all the guys back at base camp, nice and safe. Caleb, I think my favorite moment with you this week was on day 4. We were all frustrated. You know, we were all freaking starving. We've been working all week long. And that was kind of that make or break day. And I remember waking up day 4, and the first sentence out of Caleb's mouth was, "It's gonna be a good day, Tater."
It's going to be a good day, Tater.
Even though your solo base camp was a little crazy, boy, you got an interesting looking camp, and you had no fire.
You went out.
You still had that "it's gonna be a good day, Tater" attitude. And that goes a long way in life. Chad, I think, learned a big lesson in patience this week. But at the same time, both of you got to give Chad some serious props for making it through this week with flying colors. In fact, if I had to compare all 3 solo base camps, Chad was the one that really delivered. As frustrated as you acted all week long, you were still listening to every single thing I said. Just grab a hold of the fur part and just peel down. There you go. Good.
You know, I never thought in my wildest dreams that A, I would ever meet these two, and B, I mean, in this situation, I mean, I have you to thank, and then I have my dad to thank, because he brought us here.
You know, Howard, of everything you've done this week, probably the most impressive to me was actually nothing that you did while you were here. It was the fact that you initiated bringing you 3 guys together. Sometimes the difficult decisions are the most rewarding. I think that says a lot about who you are as a person and how you look at life.
After all these years of not being around, which I understand you're on the road a lot, you showed me how much of a dad you can actually be.
It's called family. It's called family.
Sure is.
If I had to pick one of you as someone who really put all the pieces to the puzzle together, I gotta say, Chad, to come into the woods with no experience, with 2 people you're related to who you haven't met yet, I mean, that took some courage. Because of that, I want to give you something that symbolizes this crazy week that you've had when you did something that maybe you thought you couldn't. I want to give you the exact same knife rig that I use myself. Congratulations on a job well done this week, man.
That's awesome.
And don't set that down, because they might try to stick it in their backpack. On that note, fellas, I think there's one last competition in order, and that's to see which one of us can get to a shower first.
You ain't got no argument there.
This week reinforces everything I believe about the wilderness and survival skills. When you strip away all the clutter, it allows you to focus on the things that are really important.
As a father, I feel great. This whole thing is more than I ever wanted.
I felt that there's more to my family that I've not known, and there's more to come. A new brother, a dad who wants to be a dad.
Not only did Creek have the skills to teach us how to survive, but he also had something inside to make our camaraderie of me and my brother and my dad just come together as one.